Good morning and welcome to America's Home Cooking. For you that are in the South, I've heard how bad it is. Please be careful driving and all. I know Texas every 15 years comes up with a snowstorm, so do be careful and take care. I don't want anybody to get hurt. Boy, that's chilly. I mean, we're like single digits up north, and so I know what it's like. It's cold, but do be very careful. Stay off the roads. Okay, I hope everybody's well and nothing happens. Now, I have a recipe that's called cabbage and chopped meat paella. Now, they want some prosciutto. They want it chopped, not real fine, but I'll read what they have here. They just said prosciutto. So I chopped it a little bit because I didn't need strips, and that's how I bought it. It's about this much. I can't even tell you how much it is, but anyway, put it in a bowl. They're not telling us much else. We need an onion. And we have to chop this onion up. There's going to be a lot of chopping before we start cooking the paella. They said you need a paella pan, a 13-inch one. I'm not making any of the paellas at a 15-inch pan because I don't have the money to buy a 15-inch paella pan right now. So we'll be making the 13-inch pans. And they're really good. A lot of people don't understand, but paella, that's the lid for it. It's very big. You see how it is? It doesn't have an extra thick bottom on it. And it's very wide, and the bottom isn't localized. It's the whole pan. This is why it's so important. So it has a very small edge up on the side here. So when you go to cook, everything's going to be cooked. It won't be cooked in one area. The heat's going to be distributed everywhere. That's why it's so important about these pans when you get them. And they have to be able to go into the oven because they bake some. After you cook it so much, you stick it in the oven, then it sits a bit before you serve it. And by the way, those muffins were delicious yesterday, the pear and sunflower muffins. There's only 2 left. And I have to admit, I was a pig yesterday. I ate 6 of them all day long. They were just that good. And my younger son was home because he didn't work that day, yesterday, and he sat there and said, Mommy, where are the muffins? I demolished them. But I got 2 more left, so he can have them this morning. I want to keep my little paws off of them, as they say. Keep your paws off of it and let him have those. I told you, those were delicious. All right, so we're going to chop an onion up. I would like to say that I'm surprised at the way the weather is going, but the readings Casey had given had stated all of this, and the Bible states it as well. And you're going to put this onion with the prosciutto. I can't wait till Friday gets here. Oh my God. My son told me where he was working. My other son, he said there was no heat at all in the whole building. You know how cold it was? I said, yeah. He said, I am layered at work trying to stay warm. I told him, don't they have a heater by your desk? He said, no, it's broken. And I said, that's really great. I hope he doesn't get sick. Okay, now, this is going to be cute. You're going to get a jalapeno pepper. Okay? This is going in the compost. I will not put the seeds into my stock because I did that one time. I'll never do that again. Now, you're going to take all these seeds out. Oh. See, jalapenos are famous in Texas with a lot of the Spanish food. They use it, which I'm familiar with. Well, I shouldn't say Spanish, it's Mexican, okay? And if you go to the restaurants, my parents used to drive to Refugio for this restaurant. They served excellent, excellent Spanish food. So we would go there. I didn't like Spanish food. I sat there and I would order a BLT with a glass of milk, please. Now we're going to mince this up. No, Taffy. No, I am not picking you up now. I am busy. So this dish is going to have a bite to it, as they say. It is so cold, I've got a heater in the kitchen. In spite of the heat being up and all, it's just that cold. So I said if I'm in the kitchen until I get the kitchen warm, we're mincing this. You've got to dice this really fine. I am using heaters in the house with the heat, because the heater downstairs is working like crazy as well. It's just cold everywhere. And I go in and out doing stuff outside and having to come in, the mail, and taking clothes to the laundry room and all. So if I'm going to be going in and out, I want to make sure, at least when I come back in this kitchen, it's comfortable. Down, down, down. Don't play your games. I fed you this morning. And you're not out in the cold, so don't complain. I remembered when I was in Texas and it snowed, we had 5 inches. And this is in Beeville, Texas, because that's where I grew up. And the whole school and the whole town shut down. People couldn't drive. They can drive in mud, hurricanes, and everything else, but don't give them snow. People up here can drive in the snow, but mud would give them a problem. It's just amazing. According to where you grow up, you learn things. Okay, this is going to be hot. That's a big jalapeno. But they say 1 jalapeno, that was the size they had. Okay. I'm just putting things together. That's all we're doing right now. Okay. Now we need about a ½ pound of cabbage. So let me get my cabbage and my scale out, because I'm going to have to weigh this, because we're going to have to chop that up and put that in another bowl. Okay, they say about, so I have a little over half here. They're just general on this recipe. We have to chop it up. So they don't exactly say how they want it chopped. They say just chop it up. I said, okay. I should get my chopping knife instead of using a slicer. See how difficult it is if you don't use the right knives? See, I quit listening to the news a long time ago because they were biased. They can't be objective. They're supposed to just give us the news, and we're supposed to decipher it and take care of it. If they get on their high horses and think they're going to control us and tell us how to think, I'd rather think on my own. Give me the facts and I'll make my own decision. So I quit listening to the news and their narratives and their lies. And it's difficult. I have to go overseas to actually hear what's coming on and what's happening in my country. I mean, we have a new president, and the news is stuck on January 6th, 2020. We're in 2024, and they're still stuck on January 6th. So who wants to listen to them? I don't. I can go to foreign news and get more of what's really happening now than I can listening to my own country's news. All right, we're getting ready to do this. So that's why I didn't know the South was covered with such bad weather. And I hope everything is well with everybody. Now they want 3 slices of thin bacon. I have bacon, mine's thick, so I'll slice it thin and get approximately 3 slices that they want cooked. We're gonna do it in the paella pan. I just have to get what I think 3 slices of bacon look like. This is where I just sort of use my mind to sort of figure out, because they want us to crumble this up anyway, so I don't see much of a problem here. I'll give one more. So you can see this is going to have a lot of protein. It's actually going to have 3 meats in it, so you can't really say there isn't a lot of meat in it. There is really a lot of meat in it. Okay. Now, I do not keep my bacon in the refrigerator because it goes bad before I get it all used, so I keep it in the freezer. I get a smoker. I would love to enlarge on the back porch and make sure there's a plug out there so I can sit there and make my own bacon, which I think would be delicious. All right. Now they want you to preheat. Now listen to me very carefully with what we have to do. If you have a gas, set your temperature at 400. If you have an electric one, set it at 450. And that's the first line it reads in this recipe. Preheat the oven to 400 for gas ovens, 450 for electric. So make sure you get the right one. Oh, we need saffron. As I say in the South, I know these little burgers are expensive, but you can get a little jar of saffron. See? Now, they want us to put, I'll move everything in my stove. Oh, God. I know this seems really crazy the way they do it, but this is how they do it. They want you to put the broth, which is chicken broth canned or homemade, 3 cups of it into a saucepan with 1/8 of a teaspoon of crumbled thread saffron. And what you're going to do is you're going to sit there and put it on a heat and keep it hot, so when you add it to the paella, it'll already be hot and it'll keep everything hot and going. All right, so I have to get 3 cups. I have bone broth, all kinds of stocks, chicken. I'm just adding a whole bunch of them together. So mine is going to taste a little different because I'm going to add a little bit of everything in mine, which is standard for me. I think you all know that by now. If anybody's going to do it, Sandra's going to do it and add it differently. That's 1 cup. So I'm going to have a lot of different flavors going in mine. Oh, well, this has a lot of chicken in it, but I have a little bit of veal in it too, so it'll be a little different. This is going to be really rich. you need 1/8 of a teaspoon, which is 1/2 of 1/4 a saffron. And they want you to crumble this up and put it in that broth. Okay. And put it on simmer and let it do what it has to do. I'll crumble this up and see if I've got an 1/8. You're gonna need a pound of ground beef. This is lean. I have more of the, what is it, 97-3, I think, 93-7. Yeah, I think it's, what is it, or is it 85-15? Somewhere in that. It's lean, okay? Because they wanted lean. I told them I needed lean. I needed 3 pounds of lean, and I paid for it. All right, we are going to put, we're going to fry these bacon, and then crumbled up. Mine will be crumbled because I already cut it thin to be crumbled. So we're going to cook the bacon in the pan. And we're going to drain them on paper towels. They want them crumbled and reserved. Where did I put my oil? Didn't even get that out yet. Boy. Oh boy. I can't get you over here to the frying pan yet. I've got to clear a few things out, and then we'll get it going. Okay, I'll put this in the back burner here. Put it here. Oh, I got snow peas. I've got some more chopping we're going to have to do. Let's go into the snow peas. Okay, get rid of these. I think I'm done with these. Okay, we're going to try to get you over here and try to keep my brook clean. Okay, let's move you over here. And the bacon is done. They want you to put it on a paper towel and drain it and put it to the side. Now, when we're done with this bacon, you're going to sit there and pour off the fat, but you're going to leave some in the pan for flavor. I don't know how much. It just depends upon how much I have left. Right now, we're going to toast these up. because they're going to be added later. And you're going to take a whole bunch of scallions. This whole bunch. You're going to use a whole bunch. I'm going to have to start chopping them soon. Okay, move you back over here. You've got more chopping and stuff you have to do, so I'm going to be moving you back and forth. They want you to take 6 scallions. Where did it go? Okay. Just trying to get them together so I can chop them and get them cleaned. They're cleaned before I chop them. Where do they want this added? Keep track of your bacon. Turn the heat down when the stock. Turn it down to simmer as low as you can. Keep it hot while you're doing the rest of this. Where am I going to add my scallion? Where am I going to put the scallions in? Okay, that's how we're going to do the broth. Okay. How do they want them chopped? Okay. They just want them chopped. They should have said sliced. And you're going to hold these to the side for now too. We'll get to the snow peas because those are last. Okay, so let me get these over here. Get back to that bacon. How many snow peas do you need? You need 10 cut julienne. Julienne. Wait. Julienne or julienne? Julienne style. Sorry. I took a quick glance and didn't bother looking. That is cut at a 45-degree angle, very, very thin. Which I already know because I was taught. 6, 8. Oh, I got a few left over. All right, so what? So they're cut at a 45-degree angle. So that means you'll be cutting them like this at an angle, and you cut them thin. If I remember correctly in my history, Julia Child brought cooking in the home because chefs used to be men. That was them. They worked in the restaurants and stuff. Women didn't. They were stay-at-home moms. But she brought the terminologies and cooking, showing women how to cook better. So she brought a lot of knowledge. Now your bacon should be getting crisp. We're going to move this stuff to the side. We'll bring you back over here. I know you're going to be moved around a bit. I do apologize. Please do not get dizzy on me. Put this back in the book so I can find them. See, they're just about there. They're going to be nice and crunchy when you go to put them in. See, they're doing a wonderful job crisping up. Slide spoon, get them out. Now, if you're frying your bacon whole, you'll have to crumble it up after it cools. I did mine ahead of time. Okay, let me turn this down. They want you to pour some of this fat off. I just have to find something to pour it in. Shit, I'm losing. I need more measuring cups. This is ridiculous. I've got tons of them and I'm still running out. That's going behind you. They say leave a little for flavor. That's about a tablespoon I am leaving, and I am going to add 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Okay, where did I put it? Can't find anything in this house. Put in 1 pound of ground beef. get this out of the way. I don't need this. You can see how lean it is. It's pretty dark. When you get a good butcher and he works with you, man, you can get all sorts of cuts. And if you know a farmer who grows cattle and chickens, you can pay him for them. And when it's time for harvest, you take it to the slaughterhouse. That's how my mother did it. But the government has interfered so much, I don't know if it can still be done to this day. Now they tell you to add salt to this while you're cooking it. They also tell you to break the fat up, the meat up. As it browns and cooks. I just say this isn't a lot. That's true. It doesn't look like a lot. But remember, 3 ounces is 25 grams of protein. And there's 16 ounces. And you know, 5 times 3. So 5 into times 25 grams. You got 125 grams. About 130 grams just sitting right here. Especially if you get more of the lean cut and it's got more fat in it, you cut back on the amount of protein that you're going to have. A lot of people don't think about that. So if the meat has more fat in it, you're going to have less protein per pound. Whereas you get the more lean, you're going to get the full amount of protein. So sometimes when I make some of these dishes, there's a lot of protein in them. So you sit there and you realize, hey, I didn't need this much. I can maneuver with this instead. Adele Davis was trying to explain that to people. I use a lot of wooden spoons and stuff. It's great to prevent from destroying my pots and pans any more than I have to. Because some things I do need to use metal against metal. As soon as it's all done turning pink, we're going to take it out and we're going to add 2 more tablespoons of oil to the pan. And we're going to start taking care of the rest of this. They do want you to break the meat up as it browns. Okay. And put it in a bowl, put it to the side. Yes, I see that piece sitting there. I'll get to it in a minute. See these vegetables? Dump them in. Yeah, I know I stacked it all up to get over it. Now we're going to saute this, and we're also bringing out the prosciutto flavor. We want smoked paprika we're going to need for this dish. You need 1.5 cups of short grain rice. All right, you're going to add your cabbage now. And I told you that approximately 1/4, well, they say about a half a pound. I added a little more. It's difficult to get exactly at a half a pound, but they're talking about a quarter a pound, my mistake. Did I say a quarter? Hold on. Yeah, right, a half a pound. I was a little under it, but come as close as you can. Now, we're going to cook this until this is a little limp, and then we'll be moving forward with other stuff. How we layer it, each one has to build its flavor up, and then you add onto it. That's how paella seems to work with all the recipes I've read. It's stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, building up on each flavor as you add to it. Now you're going to add 1/4 of a teaspoon of smoked paprika and stir that in. So you're going to bring this flavor all the way around. Okay, well, you don't want to. Now let's see what else they want us to add up here. Okay. I'm not going to put the, when am I putting it in there? Okay. You're going to pour this broth in, which you just did. Remember? You have the saffron in it. Put the ground beef in it. Put the scallions in. And put half of the bacon in, only half of it. The other half we're going to use. Okay? Stir that up. And I think we'll be adding the rice in a bit. Isn't this a hearty meal as you see it being put together? And it's got winter vegetables in it. It's got lots of protein. Let me see, I'm supposed to be adding the rice, I know that. Here's the rice. We want short grain, 1.5 cups of rice. I'm going to stir all this together, bring it to a boil. Just think of the broth and all the flavor that it's going to get. We'll add a little more salt, because you have to salt for taste for this one. I'm not too concerned about it, because I can always add more later. Because with the kelp and the salt mixture that I make, you don't always taste that salt, the strong salt flavor. But the kelp has so many minerals and vitamin A and manganese for the ears and everything else. Just can't say no. Now you're going to bring this to a boil. Put that lid on. Alright, I have to read this part to you once I get this in the oven. If it's boiling, it's going in the oven. Okay. Alright, now if you have a gas stove, you're going to cook it for another 12 minutes. If you have an electric stove, it's going to be another 20 minutes until the rice is almost al dente. Then remove to a warm spot and cover with foil and let it sit 5 to 10 minutes or until the rice is cooked. I don't have to cover it with foil, believe you me, mine's already hot. When it comes out, we'll sit there and we'll dress it up and finish what has to be done to it, okay? So I'll see you then. Okay, I forgot. I'm going to have to teach you how to cut julienne with these, all right? Ready? You hold it like this. See how straight that is? You put your knife at an angle just like that. You see the difference? They give a nice design. You see? That's how you do it. You have your vegetables, you have your starch, and you have your protein all in one meal. The only thing it's missing is wine. Because this is beef, you would want a dry red wine. It's chicken, veal, lamb. You could use a rosé, fish. They usually think white wine. A lot of people don't like rosé, so they usually go white. See, we couldn't buy green beans, so if we wanted French cut or something, we had to do it ourselves. Companies have made cooking cheap, and there's not much pride in it. But then they add all those chemicals, and they're making us sick as a dog, aging us faster than we should. When the drug companies own the food companies, and they're dishing out the food and stuff, you don't have a fighting chance. They get you coming, and they get you going. So see, it didn't take much to make a lot, did it? You see it's piling up. Now I'm going to be doing a video after this to explain what I mean by the 3 dishes. Somebody doesn't seem to understand what I meant, so it's very difficult. That's it. And what you're going to do is when this is done, we're going to sprinkle this on top and this on top as well. So I'll separate them with a paper towel, keep them on the cutting board. All right, so I will see you in a bit. Okay, I checked mine. It's been 20 minutes. Now, because I'm using brown rice, I'm going to have to leave it in the oven longer, but if you're using white rice, take it out and let it rest 5 minutes. Then what you're going to do is cover it with the peas that we cut and then sprinkle bacon on it, and that's how you serve it. But mine's going to be in there for a while, but I'll show you my end product when I get it done, but I have to wait for that rice. Okay, the paella is done. Showing you how it looks, and this is what you do. That's it. And that's the dish. You take care and have a great day. Do be safe, please, while we're in this, I don't know what to call it. The whole United States seems to be under a frost. Bye-bye.